Hi, everybody. Say hi to Jane
Hello.
and Diana or Diane. Anyway, guess what we're here for, guys? Come on, come on. I know you guys can guess. Nobody's in here even guessing. Where's my little chat box? First of all, so I can see what real time is on people here. Okay. Anyway, we probably don't got nobody here. I'm a small channel. But anyway, these are some really great supporters for Making a Murder and other cases, wrongful convictions. Let's just put it that way. Injustice. How do we say that? We'll just ball it up and say injustice, right? So there's Jane X, Jane Sharp. Then there's, I can't pronounce your Twitter name, sweetie. You're going to have
Diana will do.
Diana. And they're excellent tweeters. And I mean, hey, I love the stuff they do. I think they're really, really good supporters, and I want to shine some light on some good people who don't get to say, "Hey, I'm a supporter. Recognize me," you know. Especially on Twitter, not a lot of people tweet. First of all, what got you doing it? Who you can take your time. Whoever wants to do it.
I'll let Diane go first.
You'll let her go first. Diane's a little shy, guys. Don't worry. This is our first time. We are getting her out in the public on the first time on my show. Crazy lady. Anyway, go ahead, Jane.
Yeah, so back in probably January 2015, a friend of mine at work was like, Jane, there's this thing on Netflix. You've got to watch it. She explained it all to me and, you know, told me all about it. And at the time, I didn't watch it straight away. It was quite a few months later. I was looking for something to watch on Netflix, and then I came across Making a Murderer on Netflix. And then it was only watching it I realised it was what my colleague at work had been telling me about.
It's hard to explain it.
Yeah, this is what she was telling me about. So. Yeah, I would say that was probably middle 2016. And so, like everyone else, I watched it. And then I probably watched it again 2 or 3 times afterwards because I was just in utter disbelief. I got to the end of it and I thought, these two, they can't still be in prison. It's not even possible.
Right.
It's just not possible.
And you're from the UK, so it's different over there, right? So your legal system is different. So what besides being completely shocked by it, you know, because that's what I was, and I live in the US, and in fact I live right next door. So thank God we don't got the same policies they do over there. But what's the difference for you when you seen that?
Well, for me, I think first of all, I'm not saying it would never ever happen, but I would say almost for sure that Brendan would never have gone in an interrogation without an appropriate adult, a lawyer or a parent. That just astounds me. It wouldn't. I don't even think over here. Again, it may in some instances, but I think over here, I don't think it would have ever got to trial.
Yeah,
because he was in coerced.
It wouldn't happen here in Minnesota either. They have to have a parent.
I don't think it would. I just don't think it would. So that alone, just that one little bit, I was just like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
Because I tell you something now, if that was either on my sons, and I'm not dissing Barb here, no disrespect to Barb, I'd have been kicking the door down and wanting to get in. And I'm not saying she didn't, or I'm not here to, you know, but I would, you know, I would be in there.
Right. And, you know, see, everybody says that about Barb, but I personally know that they had her busy doing other things. They made sure she could not be there. It was very obvious, you know what I mean? And the stress they put on the family alone. They wanted to break the family up. And in order to break up a solid thing, break them up. Have them go against each other. They'll turn. That's what was going on. And a lot of people don't think of that. They think, well, because my first reaction was, what do you mean? You're running in there with your kid. What the hell? But see, in Minnesota, you can't interrogate a kid like that, you know? So, Diane, now make it talk now. Tell us about your story with this.
Well, I watched Making a Murderer 1 back, I think it was like the end of 2017, the start of last year. somewhere around that time. But to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just kind of watching it in the background, and then like I just carried on with my life after it had finished because I was really busy. And then it wasn't until like last year, I had a lot of like personal things going on, and I ended up coming back home to live with my dad. And like the first night I was home, my dad said to me, like, watch whatever you want to watch on Netflix. And I just said, I just want to watch Making a Murderer 2. And that's when we put it on and watched it. And I wasn't really paying attention to that to start with either. And it wasn't until, for me, it wasn't until Kathleen came on and started talking. And she was, you know, the famous phrase, like, you'd have to be stupid to hire me if you're guilty.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Let me pick up and pay attention. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty bold statement. And it made me want to pay attention to what she was saying. And then I paid attention to the rest of the story. I came onto Twitter. I started talking to other people. And, you know, the cause for me is so important. Like, these people are sitting in jail,
Right.
away for something that they haven't done, and there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
And I can't. It's made me change my direction in life. Like, it's turned my head completely.
Yeah.
And my life changed yours too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And for me, it wasn't just the fact of this time. Not only had Stephen sat in jail for 18 years the first time, he's then out for 2 years and then back inside for another crime he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
without parole. I mean, how do you even contemplate that in your head? I can't even get my head around it.
And because it's so different in your country that, and let me tell you, I have found so many supporters that are from other countries, you know, England, Australia, you know, Ireland. And I want to tell you, for you in another country to feel so strongly about this, I appreciate it. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to put some people out here that don't get recognized. You guys need to shine too. You know what I mean? I got a YouTube channel, and I think everybody that supports should be recognized and thanked, because it changes your life.
It does, it's totally changed my life.
Yeah.
Stop, you know, if I'm not tweeting about it, you know, I'm looking something up or reading about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and protest to be one of the people who does loads of fact finding and the biggest research, because I'm not. You know, it for me as a mum, because of Brendan, because I think it was Brendan's interrogation in Man 1 that really not only was the you know, for Stephen and the Penny Bernstein case the first time, and then to have it all done again the second time with Teresa, it was Brendan's confession and how he was treated by everyone or his legal team who was supposed to be, you know, supporting him.
Yeah.
And it was as a mum,
legal
it
schmegel.
Yeah, it was, you know, totally. It just upset me. I used to get so angry at the telly. I just wanted to go and grab Brendan out the telly and pull him out and put my arms around him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people started because of Brendan. Started being a supporter because of Brendan, because it is so it's heart-wrenching. I mean, it's heart-wrenching because you can see, even if you're not a skilled person, just watching them ask him questions, I was like, this kid is confessing. He is not. You guys are, you know, and because here in Minnesota that you have to have an adult until you're 18, I was like, where's the mom? He says he's legal, you know, and I'm shouting that, thinking that it was totally legal. And then I was like, I have to know why this happened. So I started, I didn't know what to do. I was like driving my kid crazy, because driving my family crazy talking about it, because I didn't have nobody who knew about it. What do I do?
I think that's the same for everybody. Again.
Right. What do I do? You know, and you're going, and your family's going, shut up. What are you talking about? You know, because they don't know either. So I'd sit here and I'd watch it over and over and over. I must have watched MAM one. I mean, I'm telling you, at least 75 plus times. I can tell you pretty much everything that's said.
Yes.
I mean, don't quote me because I won't be able to on the spot. I'm not like that. But if I had to think about it, I could, see it. You know what I mean? That's how many times I was like, this just isn't real,
No.
My daughter goes, Linda, or mom, that's what she calls me when she's mad at me. Linda, get on the internet. Check it out.
Linda.
I put in his name and boom, up came YouTube where I could start seeing things. Well, the first one I went to, I don't even remember who it was, but I didn't like it. I was like, oh, I can't watch this. I mean, people in the chat were saying weird things and I was like, trolls at the time. I didn't know, I'm new to it. Well, then come there, Cozy. I watched and watched and watched. I watched all his videos. And I watched Perplex and all hers. And then a couple other ones I don't even know. Oh, Allie and Casey. I was like, this chick is funny, man. This girl is smoking cigarettes and saying fuck you and all that. I was like, I can relate, kind of. Anyway, so
that's what it was like for me after Mum 2. That's after Mum 2, that's when I really, because after seeing what Brendan went through at the 7th Circuit at Don Bong and how he was so close to it. Right. It absolutely shattered me, but absolutely broke my heart. And that's when I started finding YouTube and all the groups on Facebook. And it was, I would say it was Eric Cozy and Tracy Strunzy who I started watching.
Oh, I loved Tracy
first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's Do you do a lot of the YouTube too, Diane? Because I know you're a Twitter storm starter. Okay?
Yes.
That's what I call you. Twitter storm starter. That's Diane. She'll get I see more of your tweets probably than my own. Because I know I don't do many, but I read to them, And Sean, who's out in chat, you guys, let's say hi to our chat, who's out there. Sean, Miss Piggy, Diane, Dark Side of the Moon,
Hi,
Paul B, Eric Cozy.
So you're gonna have to tell me.
Yeah, and if I get any questions, I will try to pay attention to it. I'm kind of paying attention to it next. Paul the Haver,
Hi, Paul.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So if there's a question, I'll get on there and do it. Everybody's waving and saying hi, y'all. So there you go. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're engaging with you and not just ourselves, because we are women and we could just be all day long.
That's what we're like when we get together. We're just like non-stop. And it was the same when we met up with Stacey. It was like we'd all known each other for years and years.
Yeah. Stacey is smart, isn't he? Stacey's very smart man.
Yeah.
Oh, very.
Yeah. He tells the case in songs, and well, everybody knows I'm his number one fan. So, I love him. He's very shy, but he does. He makes you feel. I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't even look at him without crying because I was just because I'm starstruck, and I really his music hits my heart. As far as the words. It's not. I mean, yes, he's nice to look at, and that's all. But I'm not. That's not about that. Okay,
No.
It's about way he puts it into words and tunes.
Words, the songs.
To me, is utterly. It's amazing to me how something can do that. Yeah. Yes, I agree. So, that's great. So, and you guys had a nice conversation with him. He was out in England, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to know. What did you guys do?
We just sat talking, and then we moved from spot to spot, just talking.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Cafes, and it was really nice.
It's
like we just met and started talking, and then like 2 days later, we still were talking.
Yeah. I think we laughed. We just laughed, and I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've never laughed so much.
Yeah, I had a great time at Rally meeting everybody. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could, afford to fly to England and see you guys and meet people there. I really do, because let me tell you something. That's like a dream of mine to go over there and see, because I've always wanted to go to Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I've always wanted to go to Australia. I'm not a rich enough person to do that. But I could travel to Wisconsin.
I would have loved to have come to the Wisconsin rally. I really wanted to, but I mean, our rally was still good.
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say something about that too. It's on here. Tell us how you organized it, and I know it was good. You guys had a
Oh,
good
we, did,
turnout.
we didn't organise
We
it.
didn't know it wasn't us. It's
You
no,
didn't
not
do it.
down
You
to
just
us.
went.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
Oh.
yeah, we went. I think Julia.
She's been doing it from
Um,
someone, hasn't
yeah,
she?
I think she's been doing it from the word go.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
we all just met up at Parliament Square.
Yeah.
You guys had a nice turnout. You did. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, that's so good, that you're doing
Yeah.
that. I mean, I think it's fantastic that people that are not in our country give a damn. Let's
I
just
think
say.
it's just humanity, like having a bit of like appreciation for one another. Like,
Mhm.
I can't imagine if that was somebody in my family, what this is happening to. Like,
Yeah.
this is what's gripped a lot of people. Like, can you imagine if that's happening to your family member? Like,
Mm-mm.
that's not just happening to Stephen and Brendan. That's happening to his entire family.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I know the family, and it is like I said. Well, first the cops tried to get them apart, because it's better to try to work at individuals than a group, and they tried to break them apart, and it put a lot of. I mean, they go through stress every day. They live this. So when I
Yeah.
see them, I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because they live it every single day. It's heart wrenching as a mother and Jane, to think of
Yeah.
your son being there.
I couldn't
Okay.
even imagine.
And let's put it this way. He was in a very hardcore prison for a long time till they moved him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really heart wrenching. But I want to get onto some tweets here. Okay, I want to know, Diane, since you're the Twitter storm starter, what is like one tweet, if you can just pick one out of your head, that just made you either laugh or get so mad? As well, let's not talk about the guilters yet. We'll talk about them in a bit because they're fun. But what's like the one tweet that even you put out yourself that you really think was impactful to people or impacted you by reading it?
That's impacted me. God, there's loads. I mean,
Yeah. Well, you can get a flow. I don't care. Read ahead. We got time.
Oh God, I don't know. Ones that have impacted me. I've saved some of them. Maybe I can go and have a look and see.
Yeah, have a look. Jane, if you know some, you can say. Either one of you can speak up.
It's not one of mine, but I can tell you someone that riled me.
Yeah.
When Ken Kratz gets on his.
Who?
When he starts. Oh.
Who?
I try not to engage because.
Is your hand covering your microphone?
Sorry, is that better?
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, his tweets, they just enraged me because.
Sorry, I just remembered something that made me laugh. Carry on.
Go on. No, go on. It's okay.
No, do you know when people send out pictures and stuff? They make up their little pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Does anyone remember when the Glove put out a picture of Morgan Freeman?
I love the Glove.
Yes, and the Power of God one.
I'm going to share that again. Yeah.
The Glove.
Days. Where is it?
Lloyd Bass is good. The Glove is good. I like Lick the Knife. I mean, these are like the guys that I watch. But like, who's your favorite? What was that guilter's name you were saying pissed you off? Who was it, Jane?
Sorry, say that again.
The person's name, because I can't hear it. I didn't hear the person's name that you said.
Oh, I was talking about Ken Kratz.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about the KK missing one because he's just exactly like what them three stand for. Everything rotten, nasty, and immoral.
I was only thinking that the other day.
Yeah, I said that. I said, I don't want it because I'm totally, them three together is absolutely off the, you know what I mean? I can't even imagine being a part of that kind of shit. But I put him right there. Kratz can go right there. He's got no morals, no respect for anything. He thinks he's God.
He's a narcissist.
He's another Hitler. I don't care. I don't like the guy at all. Should not even. Nobody should pay attention to him, and we shouldn't talk about it. We're wasting good breath. We might need one day when we're real old, and you'll say, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have wasted that breath on that guy." GoDonnie.com or GoDonnie.com.
I've just retweeted.
Always lucky 13. I don't know what that means, but anyway, maybe it's a.
I retweeted that tweet, by the way, the one that I think
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, it's a tweet that's hilarious.
Didn't he say something
Yeah.
like, "I never told you to go anywhere"? Or,
See, you guys are on there like all day long and things, and I'm like, where do they come up with these clever things? But you know, I can do that at night. I can come up with some clever things, like especially talking to Scooby. I mean, I come up with, you know, oh, I'm howling good, no, you know, just different things like that. It's easy to put a dog and some words together, you know. But you guys are like, some of your things are so short, so small, but very impactful. You know, like how do you put up like? See, I can't even figure out how to put up documents or anything because it only gives you so much, you know, space or whatever. So I must, but I got over 13 5K tweets. That's how many I got. I don't know how you guys are doing, but I'm doing pretty good, huh? Diane must be in the 300,000s, you know.
No. Listen, Linda, I've only got 300 followers. I haven't really got a big following. My tweets just come from whatever I'm thinking at the time. It's not, you know.
Yeah, when I'm busy,
if something happened, or
I go for a GIF. Go for a GIF. If I'm too busy, I just go grab one, put the word in there, boom, boom, they come up. I go, oh, that one's good. You know what I mean?
I like it when something's coming up though, like because I really like to get excited about things. Like even if I know that it's going to be like perhaps a negative thing that's going to happen from it, you know, like we're all expecting the state to file in February. Like even though I know it's going to probably be a load of, you know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think they're going to come up with?
Something interesting. I mean, come on. When they're trying to say that Andy Colborne shook that thing and the key come out, like
that's a cabinet of Nadia.
That's what wait a minute. Here's another one. Who but dialed Kathleen's out in there? Who was it who come on the phone and went?
Yeah, the lawyer for the AG. Yeah, exactly, for Holland. Well, and by the way, we mentioned he's still gone. Where is he? Sabbatical. Well, that's supposed to be educational, and you're supposed to report where you are. So where is he? I don't know. Preparing for the worst, like a prepper for VA.
Take it out of retirement or shake it. That's basically what it is.
Keep talking. I gotta do a chat here. Somebody came in and said, "Oh, and it's I'll think that person. They're from Australia. They're about to go to bed." So, you know what I mean? It makes it easy. Oh, gotcha. Oh, guess who's joining us? Mystical Jinx.
Woo!
Hi, honey.
Hey, Jinx.
She's another one of my, you know.
Yes.
I mean,
I love Jinx.
What can I say? I picked the best. You know what I'm saying? I picked the best to be friends with, and she recognized me at rallies. She came up to me, Linda, and I'm like, who are you? I didn't even know who she was. And she told me, and I about fainted because I absolutely love that researcher. Absolutely love her. There's nothing like her research. She's really down deep into it.
Yeah.
And you know, you got to think, because all of us use a lot. I don't know if you do, Diane. Do you research or do you just use and see what you've heard?
Yeah, I do. But mainly what I do is I read the documents that are out. And like, I'll go on Discord. I haven't been on Discord for ages, but I used to go on there all the time and talk to people because there's loads of stuff always going on. I'm still a part of Discord, but I haven't been on there for a while. But I'll go and read all the documents as much as I can.
Yeah, that's good.
Out there to read. That's why it infuriates me when people come back with like ignorant like comments about stuff. I read an article the other day of people saying, "Oh, basically tearing down the story of Stephen and saying that he's guilty." And the things that were coming back, I'm just like, we just look into it before you start putting things out there. I mean, I'm guilty myself. I'll put things out there that some people will come and say, that's not right because of this. And I'll hold my hands up and say, okay, that's fair enough.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm not a pro. I'll just find what I find
Right.
and I'll send it out there. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. But when people like put articles out there and like they're sharing it to so many people, like journalists and stuff, I think do your research.
Yeah.
Like, let me find stuff out first.
Well, like Sean Reck with the what is it, unconvicting a murderer, or what, or convicting a murderer? Is that what it is? It's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, that man
one.
don't know. Not he does not have his facts straight from what I see. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's changed. I heard that he was going to be, you know, getting some real facts on it, and maybe it'll be a good thing, maybe not. But you have to know your facts if you're going to make a documentary or, you know, make a story about it or research and try to pick apart somebody else's work. Like that's what I think Sean Reck is trying to do, is pick apart, you know, making a murderer, saying that it was, you know, left out, like Pratt says. But if you ask me, the only things that were left out are the things that are really absurd, and you can only pick certain things. Okay, like the sweat DNA. Okay, I mean, Sweaty. I'm sorry, but if you ask me, he's a telltale of what he was going to do by his press conference. He said things in that press conference, well, like Sweaty a million times. Okay, then he uses sweat DNA. Okay, things happened in the garage. Okay, so he had to make sure something happened in the garage. You know, I mean,
in the garage.
and then when he was asked by the press, what do you think happened? He said, "Oh, I'm not going to give you my narrative until it's over." Well, that's because it'll all be out. And court said, "Oh, yep, that's it. So you can go tell your tales." Otherwise, he wasn't going to give them a narrative because he would have been found wrong on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's calculated. That's what drives me crazy. You know?
You can see that though if you read back the trial transcripts. Like you can see the manipulation, like because I was thinking about this yesterday about like how important the jury is.
Yeah.
And like Lynn said in Making a Murderer about like she believes in the jury system, and I agree with that because if it's they are presented the correct evidence, they can make a decent
an informed decision.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I believe in it too. If you're given all the evidence,
the correct,
but if something seems funny, just even one thing, I'm not going to say a person's guilty. Like for me, honestly, the first thing I think of when I see Making a Murderer was the key. That was the first thing I was like, what? No. That just does not happen like that. Okay, I was like so shocked. I was like, that would make that right there, just that little thing, which some people think it's just a little thing. Like you said, well, even if they don't use the key, you know. But you know, if I was a jury, since I watched the all the news, because I sat back and I said, I'm gonna watch all the news and see what these people were fed, you know. So Allie Epperson has it on her channel. Everybody, if you want to go see it, it's really good. I mean, if you've got time to walk and do dishes and listen to them, because there's a whole bunch of them. And just listening to them, and if you're thinking, okay, I live here, you know, I don't know nothing else about the case. I just live here and I'm hearing these things. You think he was guilty too. Because they only give you
they give you the right information that they want you to hear.
Yeah, what they want you to hear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And they tell, they're one-sided. They're the state. They work for the state. You know what I mean? They live there. They work there. I'm sorry. They're going to make the public think that the officers are doing their job, so they're safe, because that's what they want to do. That's their job. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Someone mentioned that the one juror that was friends with Scott Todick is not anymore. So I double checked, and they are no longer friends on Facebook. That's from Jinxie. And Dark Side of the Moon says, the thing that got me was Ryan saying he did not know day from night. That, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, let me tell you. It gets dark here now. It's December. Okay, it gets dark at 5 o'clock. Starts getting dark at 4:30. So in November, it was getting dark about 5:30. Okay, 6 o'clock. So he was either in the dark when he was coming out from the hospital, or he was going in the morning when the sun was coming up, because it doesn't even come up at all. You know what I mean?
It's his face as well when he's sat on the stand and he's like, and he's like, I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
You wouldn't have to think that long, would you, if it was real?
You wouldn't, no.
No. I mean, let's put it this way. A narrative has a straight line. Boom, 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 happen. This is Making a Murderer.
Yeah.
All over. It's like, and it goes around in a circle and it comes out. But now, I think with Kathleen's new brief and going, away from Judge Sucks at This, okay, that they have to do something. The fact that the state asked for extra time could be on our benefit. They're trying to find something, anything. They're running. It's like the line is going, you're about to fall right off. You know what I'm saying? Because
you're scraping the barrel.
Yeah, you have to. Now you better start kissing your butt bye-bye to the lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me is that somebody can live with this for so long.
Yeah.
But
not just one person. There's many people who have lived with this. Many people who have lived with that happily, getting on with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what sort of people are you?
Yeah. The thing that bothers me is like they say, well, maybe it was only one or two cops, that did it. But everybody that seen it going on, that has any knowledge of it and has let it go on, is as guilty as they are, as if they were doing it themselves, in my eyes.
Yeah,
because they're just as wrong. I don't know.
Some of them maybe if they didn't even know, maybe some of them were just dumb.
Jinxie says, I'm not sure. I believe the jury system. It doesn't seem to work sometimes when they can be manipulative. Well, you know what I can do? I forgot about this. Let's do this. There we go. You guys can read them now too.
Yeah, I can read it.
On Sunday that Ryan did not give a time. Can we be sure he didn't see her in front of her PC in the morning and check the map? That's a good thought. That's really good. And Dark Side of the Moon wants to know this. I don't know too much about the cowboy outfit, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
When a Halloween party on the Saturday night.
I was just going to say, wasn't it for a Halloween party?
Yeah, I think that's what it was for.
So
he must have had this. We'll do this first. I wonder if the opinion of the jury has changed.
That would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
Or the prosecutors will have a little or no integrity. You're right, they won't have integrity.
Yeah. Let's go now.
We know that. They're not going to do much of anything there. They don't care. If anything, they're just going to let the big ones that got into it go down, and hopefully they'll just be brushed aside, like the little, the little minion workers or whatever you want to call them. Hi, Hanging with Jay. How are you doing today? Let's kind of say hi to some people too. Okay, Jinxie's really going whacked here. Jinx, geez, can't keep up with this stuff. After heard from a friend say, okay, it's too much. I can't follow where she's going. Something about she can't wait. What's this one? Is that one? Okay, that was that. And I'm going to go to her next one because it probably has something to do with it. No, we cannot. No questions were ever asked of him. That's very true. Ryan?
Never alibi. Yet, when Ken Kratz was tweeting, all these years later, he suddenly gives this alibi for Ryan Hillegas.
Oh,
just like the day magically appears.
Did you not see that?
Tell.
Yeah.
So
there was a thread going on. And people were asking Ken questions. Anyway, I can't even now you put me on the spot because I can't remember. If someone can remember in the chat, please say so. But basically, Ken Kratz has now given Ryan Hillegas an alibi, saying that he was at this certain place with his girlfriend.
He said he was in Milwaukee living with a girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend.
He said that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, Ken Kratz set him up with one of his victims he was texting or something because, I mean, let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? He is a dirty dude. I wouldn't believe nothing that came out of his mouth. I'll tell you that. And if he says he took a shower, I'd say, you ain't took enough of a shower. Get the hell away from me. You're dirty, dude. You could sit there. You could sit and bleach for years and you'd still be dirty. I don't know. I just cannot stand him. But, the one that gets me, obviously, is O'Kelly. Len Kaczynski, he's just a ding dong, and he's just a ding dong.
He's a judge, man. Like, never mind ding dong.
Yeah, he's a lot of things. Well, I can tell you personal things about him, but I can't tell you online, only because I know people over that go to church with him and things, and he's a, yeah, he's a nut
How
job.
does he get convicted though, of the offence and then still allowed to carry on? They had all cases lined up for it. I mean,
Yeah.
Since discovering Stephen Lee released Jarkle, Stephen is absolutely not guilty. Nor is Brendan, and the interrogation of Brendan and the vehicle makes me furious.
Yeah.
Definitely with you.
Definitely. Yeah. And all these new jail calls now are very brilliant and they're very talented. The reason I like them is because they are, they're in that time.
Yeah. Thank you. We're recognizing Twitterers, so I'm going to recognize all the ones that are out there too. Put their little name up there and say, thank you. Well, here's Miss Piggy. I was looking for her to say something and she ain't said nothing. Said he was working and living with his girlfriend. Yeah, that must be the tweet from
that was alibi. That's it. Yeah.
Why would Kratz need to provide? You're right. Why would he?
Yeah,
exactly. To be able to come up with what he did that day. I'll tell you what, if that kind of thing went on in my life, I'd remember what I did that day. I would make sure I remembered what I did that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do anything, I wouldn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? But the fact that he was never even questioned,
alibi.
No, nothing. I mean, and
he won't speak to Zana either.
What was that, Dan?
He won't speak to Zana either, so
yeah. What do you got to hide?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody probably feels the same way. Hi, Southern Mom. Mwah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that. Where was I?
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon's just said, and he moved into a house too.
Yeah, that's strange stuff. Okay, that's real. And I know we're talking about a small town and everybody kind of knows everybody, but I live in the same kind of environment. That's not right. Nobody I know would move into their supposedly dead, massacred, burned to beyond recognition girlfriend's house with the man that was sleeping with her. Well, at least had slept with her. If you're Ryan, and supposedly he was very jealous. I don't know him personally, and thank you very much, Lord, for never introducing me. I think a lot of being over there, and when I was a kid, I went to the salvage yard, and I didn't even recognize it, but somebody had shown me some pictures of the salvage yard, and I had went there when I was a kid because we went all over and Wausau and everything, and it's kind of close. So just as a kid, I was over there. When you're a kid, you just see farms and it's all cool, you know what I mean? But when you're an adult, you go over there and you're drinking because you can drink because it's, your age is a little bit lower over there. You learn quick. It's a pay or stay state. That means you get a driving ticket. You have to pay for that ticket right there and then if you're out of town, or you stay in jail. Now, that always made me say, I don't want to be in trouble there. I never want to be in trouble there. As I don't know what a payment is on a ticket, or I don't know, small towns, they make their own rules, that's just the way I grew up. But when I seen this, I was like, this isn't a real show. At first I said, it's not real. It's just a make believe,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, somebody made this up, And when
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like the fact that sort of thing can happen, and there's nothing to immediately undo that when somebody recognises it. Like, look at how many people all over the world have looked at this, who've researched into it, like deeply researched. There's so many people out there who
Yeah.
know this inside out and back to front better than the people who are involved in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and they can see how wrong things are. And it can't just be undone instantly. Like,
Would it be undone in your country?
pardon?
If it even made that, I know Brendan, you say, and everybody I've talked to in the UK says it would never have made it. Brendan would never have made it to court. That would have been,
No.
and in some countries, like I think it's in Belgium and where Jerome's, the French crew, wrecking crew is from, he said if you touched Brendan, it would be thrown out. And the Netherlands,
like we
I
did.
had people that were in the Netherlands that said that if you touched him, it would be you'd have to say no. That's got you got to go away with that. You can't even have that here. Send him home. Don't even care if he did it. Send him home.
That's just like the progression of the criminal justice over here,
Yeah.
guys. Like once upon a time, they would have used that Reed technique, and they would have been able to interview minors without an appropriate adult. But like those things have changed over here.
Yeah.
It's just about the American justice system catching up with that. And
And
really,
the American
like,
justice. Sorry, Di.
no, carry on.
I was just
It's
going to say, I
about
think
the
they're about 30 years behind us, aren't they, in the justice system?
Yeah, that's what
I agree. I agree. I wish we would adopt a lot of you guys' policies. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, you guys find out about ours, and that in turn, I'm finding out about yours and how it works. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't. I mean, you see a lot of like murders and things, you know, everywhere, and they get caught. But you don't see things like what's going on here in Wisconsin. 3 things that have gone on very closely. You know,
Yeah.
there's Making a Murder with Stephen Avery case. There is the Michael Funk Eagle Nation case, and then there's Michael Bell in Kenosha. So they're all within 40 miles or 40 minutes of each other. You know what I'm saying?
And the Ricky
And Ricky Alstetter, yes. I don't know that case, so I'm sorry. I apologize for anybody who I follow, you know, but I don't. It's crazy in a small area.
And that's been brought up as well.
I didn't hear.
Just the ones that have been raised by somebody. What else is going on underneath that's been missed?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How many more we don't know about?
Right. And all of them we don't know about. They say it's 4 to every 100 that are wrongly convicted. That's the stats. 4 to 100 people. So if there's 100 people, 4 of them are going to be wrongly convicted. That's way too many. That's way too many, especially in America where we have like over 2 million people in prison or something, 200,000 or something ridiculous. I can't even, don't get mad, people. Disclosure here. I'm going off the top of my head. Don't get at me. You know, I mean, this is all my opinion and things that I might have wrong or, you know, but pretty sure that's way too many. If you put that together, 100, you know, out of every state, you know, let's get real. That's a lot of people. And it's too big of a percentage. 1% is too big. You spend 24 hours in jail, let alone 36 years, you know, that just got released. Them 3 guys that just got released for 36 years, they were in prison. And DNA turned it around for them.
Yeah.
You know, one day is, I cannot personally ever imagine it or anybody else, even though I was married to a man who went to prison for a long time. That's another story. Whole another show. Anyway, he deserved it. But can you imagine even your family one day, let alone years, you know, and it affects people so badly, you know, like Khalif Brower, you know, I mean, he took his own life. I mean, they didn't even say they were sorry for him, and he never even went to court, but he spent 3 years in Rikers Island prison. And let me tell you, been there. Visiting people, you wouldn't want a cockroach to be there, and that's how bad.
I saw it on When They See Us.
Huh?
I saw it on When They See Us.
Yes.
Awful.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you know that when that Central Park 5 was going, I lived in New Jersey, so I was very familiar with the case.
Yeah.
And I just, when I seen it on screen, it hit me so hard. But here's a little FYI, guys. If you haven't seen it, and I don't know in the UK if you're getting it yet, but on Netflix, there is something called, and I'm going to be on here talking about it. You're going to see it. So it's called A Killer Confession. And it is about what's his name? My God, I've just been writing all kinds of stuff about him today. I just watched the whole thing. What's his name? Oh, Lord. I know it's still, I wrote it down. Where is it? Linda Evans. Oh, Harry Lee Lucas. He is a man who confessed to 360 almost, or he said, I don't know if it's 360 or 600 murders in Texas and all around. Okay. It's a crazy show. It's on Netflix. It's called The Killer Confession. When you get it, watch it. I'm going to be doing some videos on it because it is, you're like, what? About Texas Rangers and another one of those mind twisters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, welcome, Foul Play. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, that's a great podcast. If you guys have not heard it or seen it, go to Foul Play. If I had some links, I would knock them on there, but don't know what's going on with that. And they are really good. I love the research that's coming out now. The new photos. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, very telling. Mm-hmm. The Cuss Road ones.
Yeah. What do you think, Diane? Cuss Road? No, I mean, like, what are your thoughts about Cuss Road? To me,
my thoughts on Cuss Road. Well, I do think that she was that was her. I think that's where she was. Like, because the dog hit there as well, didn't they? Like, that's where everything's been leading to. Like, I don't know whether the actual crime itself was committed there, but I definitely think that's where she was temporarily booked before she was disposed of.
Yeah.
And why was the yellow tape on these pictures and
what's underneath the blue tarp?
Yeah.
And there was an ambulance.
And might we say that the spot where all that yellow tape was and the Rodant Deer is like right next door to each other, and there was a burning barrel there right next door. So
that the dog hit on as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm like you. I think that that's where Cuss Road started. That's where somebody came across it and said, Avery lives right over there. We can make him look like, because since he was the last one to see her, I think he did it. Let's make sure.
They took advantage of a situation.
Yes. I think they have happenstance, or call it, upon that. And it's showing more and more that Cuss Road is a big deal.
Yeah.
Not the Avery salvage, which in my eyes it would never was. Where's the crime scene?
No. Never. Just the simple fact that they said, no, nothing to say here, move along. Like, nothing to say. Why have you got all them people there then? Why have you set up lights at night, floodlights, so you can see what's going on? Why have you typed it all up? Why have you put top up? Why is everyone there? Like,
yeah, exactly.
There wasn't nothing much happening.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Southern Mom. I certainly agree with that. I do. And here's another one. Probably a kill site. I agree.
Probably the kills. Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, it's here. Dark Side of the Moon says, check out Killed.
Oh yes, I mean, what's that?
Is it good? I haven't even heard of it.
I've not seen it yet. I've seen it pop up on topics.
Oh, okay.
But I've not seen it yet.
I'm writing that down as well. Garrett Phillips.
Do you want me to put it back up?
No, it's all right. I've got it.
Okay. You'll guess at it like me. I just go, what was that? And then I look at it and go, huh? What is it I wrote down? I know.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time.
I don't remember. I gotta try to find this. It's from Dark. It's from Foul Play. Where is it? Right here. Here we go. Because them people over there are all like us, and they get together and they're doing it together. And I think that is marvelous. I wish all of us creators and supporters would bring in the numbers. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not bring in numbers for me, bring in the numbers of supporters and let them be seen. That's why you guys are on here. So people can know, so whoever's in there and wants to come on this, you just let me know. Twitter, do it. And I will, be more than happy to let you shine, because I think you should. I really do. I really think more people should be able to get up here and just speak their mind and say how they feel, because sometimes you can't put it all in a Twitter. you know, and I want to know what makes people do this, because for me, it was because it was close to home, and because I just couldn't believe it, and I can't believe the support, and that's what I'm all about. I'm all about, God, you guys are wonderful to give your time, even 5 minutes, to supporting something that a lot of people would look at as like, what are you doing? You know, you're going against the grain, and I appreciate it. You know, and I want everybody to know that. So I want people to come on here so I can say thank you. Let them see that.
Well, thank you.
I was just saying to Di yesterday that sometimes I feel almost guilty saying it, but amidst this tragedy, I have met some of the most amazing, amazing people all over the world that I'll always be friends with.
Yeah.
And it's just how everybody's come together from all different walks of life, all different places over the world, and everyone's got that common goal in the end, and we all want the same thing.
And I'm right on that same page with you, and I'm sure all of us probably really feel the same way. We've met a lot of really great people. I haven't had the, you know, like the hatred, but I'm not big channel, you know, or not. Maybe that comes with the big channel, so maybe I don't mind staying small, because I mean, even though I'm the ninja and I'll get them trolls, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know,
Block him.
I don't particularly like. I mean, I like fighting with them. I mean, whatever happened to little Joe? Little Joe, I love messing with him.
From the past.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I did. I really kind of got out of Twitter when he left, because he kept me going. I love him.
He is the actual only guilter who got me to talk back, I think.
And just kept going with it, right? You know, I mean, most of the guilters aren't on Twitter. They don't come up there. If they do, they're like right away. You know, we'll get what was that one who said, oh my gosh, I love him, and I can't even think of his name. Oh my gosh. Well, all of them. I know all their names. Can't say them because I'm put on the spot and my mind goes, stop.
I really like listening to people's points of view, that even if they do think people like Stephen and Brendan are guilty, I like to hear what they, as long as they're respectful. Like, that's when I think, oh, I'm gonna block you if you're gonna start coming in and being rude. Like, I'm happy to have a conversation with somebody, and let's spread our wings out, because you know, I've only been doing this for just over a year, so I know a drop in the sand compared to what some of you guys who are on here at the moment, like, you know, so much more. You've been doing it for a long time, so I respect other people's views, and I want people to tell me, like, if I'm wrong, or
absolutely.
I want to hear why you've come to the position that you're at. If you think he's guilty, why? What is it that influences you?
I want to know too what makes people do that.
Have a discussion about that.
You know, I mean, I really do. I agree with you 100%, Diana. That is, hi Paula. I totally agree with you. People, even if they feel like Falcon, I think Falcon is very respectful. You can talk and carry on a conversation. He will give his point. He will listen to your point. You know what I mean? He doesn't call you names. You know what I mean? If you teach him, you know, treat him with respect. I mean, he did that Making a Murderer marathon logos. I mean, he has met Eric Hosey and you know, other places to, you know, with the banner. I mean, you know, in California. So it's not that there are good ones, and he's entitled to his opinion. And then there's the ones that are just rotten, that just want to just put hate on you and make you feel like you're, you know, a piece of crap. But they don't make me feel that way, because I know what I'm doing is right. Because I cannot say that, oh, I'm 12 jurors, the number 12 jurors, and I thought he was totally guilty. When there's a million people who have dug into the case and seen things that the juror has no idea about, and they know the truth. In my view, if Laura Nightrider, Steve Dresden, Kathleen Zellner, all these high up people believe enough that it's the way it is, besides what I've read and seen with my own eyes, you know, as far as evidence and the trickery and the misspelling of this and the misdating of this, and let's not make it a report till then, and, you know, let's just deceive the lawyer and tell her we got the bones, and, you know, the whole shebang, you know. I mean, if all the people, and it's pretty high prestige, prestige people that they're not wrong. They're not going to stick their life or their career on hold for a movie. Like everybody says, oh, you let,
Oh, you watched the documentary.
right. You're just living off the documentary. No,
Yeah.
that just got me going and it changed my life.
Yeah.
Because now I will fight for any wrongful anything of justice.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's totally made me feel like, you know what, somebody got to do it, and there's a lot of people out here with me. So that is one good thing. We are numbered. You know what I mean? We have numbers. So, okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Here's a question. What are your thoughts on Hallbuck's grieving with missing their? Okay, I honestly think it's very funny. The parts where the news is there and they're not showing any emotion is one thing, okay, which drives me crazy. The Mike or Mark or what Mike Hallbuck, whoever said, well, I want to know if she's alive or not, so we can go on with this. Could take a couple of weeks, maybe a day or so, whatever he said. Don't quote me. Disclaimer: don't quote me. Anyway, because people do that. But that part there was in the beginning. During court when they're not showing an emotion, I believe they're taught that, okay, because they don't want the killer to get off on their emotions, which some people do. So they tell them try not to show no emotion. But the first half when they're missing, what are you talking about? If that was my kid, you couldn't even come talk to me without tears being in my eyes, me screaming, kid, my kid. I mean, I'd be a nutcase. I'd be a freaking nutcase.
And the same with the call that the Karen Hallbuck made to the missing persons call.
Right.
It was just, I don't know. It was just very no emotion.
Right. It was none. None.
I think it might have been on your live or Paul's live the other day, or I can't remember whose live it was, and they said something in it, and I thought, right, and they said it was like she was ordering a pizza.
Yeah, it was on Paul.
It made me laugh that because I thought,
they were ordering a pizza. It was just like, well, I'd like to report a dog was in my yard, and this is what it looked like, and it went in that direction, and my family was worried. That's what it sounded like to me, like they're reporting a missing pet or something.
I'd be hysterical.
Yeah,
I could even go ahead, Dan.
I think it's really difficult to know, even though we're all saying we would be hysterical. I mean, I haven't got children, but I've got nephews, so I know personally I probably would be hysterical.
Oh, I know I would be.
Yeah,
you're right. We can't judge somebody else's emotion.
No, we don't know. Oh my God, my daughter.
You have to be 1 in a billion that would react like that, as far as I'm concerned, under them. Especially if you're listening to in court that your daughter was burned, and this is all that's left of her. There's Teresa Hallbuck's remains, all of her in that box, and you're a parent sitting in that courtroom. I would lose it. Yeah. And I've watched other things where you see these parents going crazy over during court. Even Ryan Ferguson's family, who was, collective and knew what was going on, still was having tears in their eyes. They were like, I mean, and they're, and they don't even have their son or nothing being murdered. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. No. And maybe that is them. And if it is, I apologize. I'm very sorry that that's the way you grieve, and I understand that you're Catholics and Catholics have a hard time showing emotion.
Hey, I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, that's why I went like this. Because I know a lot of them, okay? And I'll tell you, you know what I mean? So it's like, because somebody told me that one. Well, they're Catholics, so they don't, I'm like, okay.
My belief is as well that after everything that's come out since and everything that's going on, how could you not want to even question? Even if they still, believe that Stephen and Brendan are guilty, I just don't know how they cannot just question at all.
Right. Well, exactly. What I want this one. I detect no genuine emotion from any of the Hallbucks. That in itself for me is very suspicious.
Yeah.
It is
I
suspicious.
remember when I first started watching, and I saw my callback on there, and I felt really like uncomfortable by him and his presence. I felt really guilty for it because I was like, oh, you know, like if that was my sister that had gone missing, like me and my sister are close, and if she went missing, I would absolutely lose it. Like I'd be everywhere. I'd tear the place down to find her, and I would be upset.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be too. If that was my sister or brother, whether it's stepbrother or stepsister, which they're not, you know, true brother and sister, doesn't matter. I would be nuts.
Yeah, and he said they were close as well. He said they were close, so you know if you're close, and the fact that he said, you know, it's just the grieving process.
Yeah.
We don't know how long it's gonna last, and it's like, what are you grieving
Never
for?
ends.
You don't know what happened yet, do you?
It never ends, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I've lost my father, and I grieve for him. I missed him. You know what I mean? And that's what grieving is: missing and being, you know, feeling a loss. You know, so I don't think it ever ends. I don't know anybody that I've ever met in my life who has been over somebody's death, is over it. Like, well, I don't even think about it. I'm over it. Let's party on. You know, you don't get over something like that. He says, I think sometimes the high stress of things can cause people to go through emotions, but be numb to the emotion. So it's hard for me to judge.
Yeah.
On what I've seen. Exactly.
Yeah.
Would make it seem emotionless. Yeah. I agree, Jinx. I do, to a certain point, but the fact that you've never seen a tear come out of the mother's eye. I mean, if she was crying, does she have no teardrops? Because I mean, I seen her go, but I didn't see any water in her eye or anything, you know? So to me, that's like she's trying to act like she's crying, and there's a reason. Miss Piggy finally gets a question.
If you look into things a little bit deeper in that sense, you don't know that she hasn't gone numb and thought, I don't look like I'm emotional here. Like maybe someone said something to her and then she's trying to cry or whatever to make it look like.
I can't cry on command, but it was my daughter. Yeah, you ain't gonna stop the tears. Let's put it this way: when I went to Raleigh, I was so excited to meet everybody that all I did was cry. Okay, I mean, I literally was tears. You ask anybody about it, Linda was in tears. Linda was in tears. Linda was in tears. I did. I cried. I was like so emotional and so excited and so happy to meet people that felt the same way I did about this, because you get so many people looking at you like, what are you doing? What, you know what I mean? Now everybody gets it. You know what I'm saying? But, and I was so emotional seeing Stacy. I could never stop crying when I seen him. Every time he came by me, I was like, ah, and Barb too. You know what I mean? When Brendan's mother, I was like, oh my God, my heart just wrenched. I mean, I walked up to her, she walked up to me, and we both just hugged each other and cried for 5 minutes. And I didn't even know her, and she didn't know me. You know what I mean? And I was like, and I have always felt, do not pick on Brendan's mother. Do not say bad things about Brendan's mother. You have your opinion, but be respectful, because that is his mother, and he loved her. You know, what if he gets out and sees that a supporter was saying this bullshit? Because you can't be a supporter and put down the family. You have to support the whole unit. You know what I mean? I believe that. And yes, some people do act sketchy. But we don't know the background story of what was happening to Bobby or Scott or Barb or Earl or Chuck or Mom and Dad and any of them. We do not know what was going on.
We do know that Georgie was under pressure from the month. That's what we do know. Guaranteed other people are under pressure from them.
Yeah.
Right. You know, they had to make the family look like somebody would think it.
Brendan, I don't care what anybody says, but Barb loves Brendan. Yes,
she does. She loves her son. And I don't believe that she would sacrifice one for the other. I don't believe that. Maybe Bobby did. Maybe Bobby don't. I'm not saying anything because I don't know. Personally, I think it was Ryan. I think Ryan's the one that did it. I think Ryan is the one that did it, and he put her body there, and he put the car there, and he did this and that, and then the cops came on it and said, and he said, I'll help you. I did, you know what I mean? Because he did it and get it off of him, you know what I mean? and the cops just had Stephen like they did, in 1985. Exactly, tunnel vision. So it was just happenstance. You couldn't have picked a luckier lightning bolt to come through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't believe if it turns out to be a family member, I would be amazed personally, but and very shocked, and I would retract what I'm saying. But as far as I'm concerned, you cannot be a supporter and not support the family. I don't think that it's right to have bad thoughts of the family and then, but I believe in you so much. How can you differentiate? You know what I mean? How can you stop the negative coming in from the positive you're trying to put out? It just kind of makes I don't know. Maybe people just want to believe certain things and it's okay, but do it respectful. Just be respectful when you talk about it. You can have your opinion. You can say Bobby did it. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be disrespectful doing it.
I personally would like to think that, Bobby would not do that to his brother, and that, personally.
But you don't know people think
I don't like to say I know who did this because I don't know. The only thing I know for sure is that Brendan and Stephen didn't.
Right. And it didn't happen in that trailer.
There's so many possibilities and there's so many things that could have happened that I don't have one theory in particular.
Right.
If I was pushed, I'd possibly say I agree with you, Linda, Ryan Hilligas. Yeah. But that is not a definitive answer.
Right, it's not definitive for me neither, really. I just say it kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, you know that's what I mean? Makes sense.
It makes sense to me. I'm not saying he did it because I am no authority and I have no proof of anything like that. I wasn't a fly on the tree watching things happen. So I'm going by what I think from what I've read and what I've recently seen happen. So if I'm wrong, I'll get on here and make a video and say I apologize. I was wrong. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, it tends to lead all the evidence for a fact, as far as I'm concerned, pulls away from Stephen and Brendan. Yeah. And evidence is going more in.
That's the only thing I am sure of. Definitively sure of that is
only thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know who it was, but I know who it wasn't.
Right. And have you ever put anything out on Twitter that wasn't correct? You know what I mean? Right? But you're not a person who's not going to say, "Oh, I didn't do that." So what? I believe that you're not going to.
I leave my stuff up there as well. Like if I make a mistake, I leave it there so that people they might come on and read the comments underneath and see how it's being corrected and what's because we all make mistakes, and if people can see them and how you breach them, they're likely to make the same mistake. Hopefully, so I just tend to leave it up there.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Circumstances point to Ryan the most. Yes, you're right, Jim. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, they do. Yeah, that is what I would have to say. It looks like it's pointing that way, but there's and there's a lot of other cases, and I'm hoping that you guys will start getting into Eagle Nation because it's really sad. And
I have been following you and Rosie. I've been watching all kind of your stuff on that. We kind of chat beforehand, and I don't know much about it, but obviously what we chatted about. But I can't wait for the film to come out.
Oh, me neither. It's going to be a must see for me, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And Diane, you can find
Nina?
it. How
was Nina when you went to Nina?
Oh, it's nice. It's it's a little town. To me, it's just like going next door because I'm right here, you know what I mean? So it's not no big culture shock. But you guys would probably think it's a lot like where you live because, you have open countryside and stuff. Unless you live in the city like London or wherever you happen to live, if you live in the city. Otherwise, you got countryside and farms and, farm life. Yours is more sheep than ours is dairy cows. You know what I'm saying, So, but it's just like it's in everywhere small town, USA. You know what I mean? So is Manitowoc. So is Nicosia, or whatever it's called. It's the same everywhere around here in the Midwest. For me, California would be a shock. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, a big city, because I don't like the big city. I'm not a big city person, but I'm not a cow farmer either. But I'm just definitely, that kind of stuff freaks out my anxiety, seeing all them people and all that. I get, I have anxiety so bad. Michael Funk, another sacrifice at the hands of the state. Agree, Sean. Totally. And here is what Miss Piggy says. I like to put up the Twitters because I like you guys so much.
Linda, wasn't Brad Schimmel involved in all that as well? Didn't he? Was he the AD
Yes.
at the time?
Yes, it was. And
Not surprised.
you'll see him getting on there and kind of like say, no, they didn't have nothing to do with it, you know. And he makes a little speech, of course, you know, because of course they're not guilty. But yeah, Skimmer did the same thing. I call him Skimmer because he just skims on through everything, you know,
Yeah.
like nothing, you know. And now he's left this, you know, I know some backstory about him. We'll talk. But I mean, you know, I got people in high places. No, not really. Things are kind of funny on the personal note. I don't want to put them out for everybody, but maybe I'd get sued. Who knows? But anyway, so yeah, he left. Yeah, really. He left a mess for the new, you know, governor. You know, but I hope he does, Governor Evans, please.
Yes.
You know, please do and make a precedent or make a new one of Brendan. It's a total,
Yeah.
you know.
Do right by him.
Doesn't that drive you guys nuts? That
Oh,
everybody in the world can see that he is not guilty, but the people
Yeah.
in town have blinders.
yeah. Well,
So I can see that. I can't
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. I think the most about everything is that they can see everything, and you know they do, just like us.
They
And
know.
they just choose to do this, you know. And it's a political, political, you know, it's got to do with politics, which
Yeah.
is crazy. I wish we
It's
could
sad.
talk to you guys, you know. But we've been chatting for about an hour and 15 minutes now, so maybe we should start saying goodbye to everybody in chat. Thank you so much for coming. You guys have
Thank
been
you.
great.
Thanks for having us.
I
Yeah,
love
thank you for
it.
having
You
me.
guys come back again. Bring
Yeah.
some more of your friends. I can get, you know, 6 of us up here and we can really talk. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
yeah, if you are interested in doing it, come on, because I just want everybody who's out there that doesn't get seen outside of their texts and their posts to be known that I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for doing everything you
We
do.
appreciate you as well, Linda.
yes. I know we do.
And everyone who's watching as well, like everyone who does
Yeah.
the amazing hard
It's a
work.
great
Thank you.
community, and I'm very blessed to have all of you in it.
Yes.
And I feel blessed. And you all have a great day, and we'll say goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.